Aquarius, welcome to your reading for the week of January the 9th to the 15th. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the week ahead. Now keep in mind these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements because you could have messages in those readings as well. Okay, my friends, let's get started here. For Aquarius, what is the energy around the week ahead for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the week ahead? Got a lot of cards flipping and flopping everywhere here, Aquarius. Your energy must be kind of all over the map, I'm sensing. You might be feeling a little bit all over. We've got a lot of cards here. And on the bottom of the deck, all that glitters in reverse. Interesting start to your reading. Okay, let me just move these because I was a little distracted there. Okay, I just noticed that. Okay, there we go. All right, little crystal distraction. Okay, maybe I touched those for a reason. I touched a lot of red crystals, so perhaps you're feeling a little bit out of sorts in the root chakra. Perhaps you're feeling a little bit ungrounded this week. I wonder. We're seeing leg up, serendipity. I'm going to put some here because you have so many. And then we saw deep knowing here with chop wood. And isn't that interesting? Check this out, Aquarius. These two cards came out one after the other, and they're the same. So 42, 43, same sequence of numbers. Very interesting. Chopwood was in reverse. So you're definitely moving towards something, but I sense that your energy feels a little bit scattered this week in the root chakra. So you're feeling ungrounded. You might be feeling a little bit, lost might be a strong word, but it sort of feels like your energy is a little bit scattered this week. So when we start looking at these oracle cards, we see this idea here that you're moving from one space to another right now. You could be physically moving, but it could just be that you're sort of changing directions. You're changing directions. It's like something shifted outside of your control, and whatever that shift was is sort of leading to more shift in your life. But it feels like you need to be okay with being open to receive assistance here. You might be resistant to the idea of having people help you as you're sort of feeling a little ungrounded. You might be feeling like, I don't need any help. I'll handle this on my own. And perhaps it's not help, but maybe it's support is kind of coming to mind as a sort of as something that might really be necessary right now. And there's this idea of a silver lining. I feel like whatever has shifted in the recent weeks, maybe since some recent shift has really got you feeling ungrounded, but there's a silver lining here. And you might not see it, right? You might not feel it or see it, but it feels like there is some kind of synchronicity at work here. And try not to get too caught up in whatever made you feel derailed recently. I almost feel like that's a better word. Like something caught you off guard and it shifted things, it feels like. And there is a silver lining here, and I feel like on an intuitive level, you might realize that with this deep knowing energy. And then following that deep knowing, we see this idea of really needing to be grounded. So you're being encouraged to sort of focus on daily tasks to re-ground yourself. Sometimes when we find ourselves to be ungrounded and that sort of feeling of disorientation takes over, one of the most powerful ways to come back to yourself, I mean, there's so many ways, but I find getting invested in your day-to-day instead of feeling like you have to tackle stuff that's that's outside of your focus in the immediate now. So just doing what you need to do from day to day, and to sort of, take pleasure in those seemingly mundane acts that you perform on a daily basis. And it's almost like a meditative state that you get into. Like for me, I really find when I'm ungrounded, doing cleaning and for some reason washing dishes or washing anything, like taking stuff apart and cleaning it. It's like you refocus your attention on a task that may seem kind of mundane, but it's almost what you need to do to reground yourself in the now. I mean, there's lots of grounding techniques that you can utilize that take you out into nature, where you really find that connection with the earth. Sometimes when you go for a walk, you can even say to yourself that the sun or the wind are sort of grounding you and cleansing you of any sort of debris, energetic debris that might be sort of taking you out of yourself. Sometimes when we have things happen that are unexpected, it's almost like the jolt of the unexpectedness takes us out of ourselves. And we need to come back to ourselves. And so focusing on day-to-day stuff might be exactly what you need. And taking small steps rather than large leaps at this time, so that you can really focus on grounding again. See, the card is called Chop Wood. And so when you think about that idea of chop wood, carry water, it's a Zen proverb that, involves focusing on things that you do day to day and finding the sort of the wondrousness that takes place when you remain humble and you're aware of the present. So seeing this card in reverse tells me that right now you might be feeling ungrounded. So it's time to sort of just take small steps and focusing on the day to day instead of taking these large leaps. Right now is not the time for that for you. There's this lovely idea that when you take one step towards the gods, they will take 10 steps towards you. And that's sort of where we're at with this, is like you right now just needing to ground and to feel secure in this new environment that you find yourself in. And seeing this Between Worlds card kind of confirms it to me. But it's interesting. I really feel like you were pushed into this new world. You were jolted. This wasn't something that was planned or expected. It feels like it just kind of happened, and that it didn't feel fair at the time. So that's what I mean. Like something happened here, Aquarius, in the recent, gosh, I almost feel like the very recent, like the last couple of weeks, maybe the last week, something in late December, right before the new year, sort of created a shift for you that was unexpected, didn't feel entirely fair. You might be sort of sitting in this and thinking, why did that have to happen? I feel like there might be a reason that you won't be able to see for some time when I see that all that glitters card in reverse and this message in a bottle, in that there could be signs revealed to you later that reveal why this had to happen. This doesn't have to define your experience. Just because something happened that didn't feel fair doesn't mean that it has to become a defining moment for you where you say life's not fair and nothing ever goes well for me and stuff like that. Don't actualize more of this energy by sort of internalizing this experience. And look at that. Another two cards then sequence, card 15 and 16. You're really moving towards something here. And it's sitting in your subconscious. It's sitting in your subconscious. If you have questions about it, it's in there already. And everything is shifting to get you there. And so something may have happened that you do feel as an injustice or it's not fair, but this is a time for you to sort of reground yourself, and don't internalize this feeling of this thing being unfair, because it may actually lead to some good for you, but you can't see it yet. You know what I mean? And this idea following that is interesting, that you've got these two cards in a sequence, message in a bottle and all that glitters, which makes me feel like you're about to sort of understand something that leads you to your highest good. And that once you see it, it'll be a matter of you sort of looking at it in a way to decide your direction. You know what I mean? And that if you're contemplating something, wait, because this tells me that what you're contemplating might not be what you think it is. So you need to get grounded, Aquarius. I'm going to move on to the tarot cards. I've been talking for, oh boy, almost 10 minutes here. But whatever's happened here, you have to be open to regrounding yourself in the day-to-day tasks and to sort of feel humbled by that. That will help ground you again. Then you're being guided here to open up and be willing to receive help or support in areas around something that shifted, that may have felt like it was like unlucky or not fair or out of nowhere. And it's actually happened here on the surface. It feels like it's unfair and, unlucky, but it's actually happened to shift you into a new direction. And it feels like you're going to be getting some signs and synchronicities towards that direction. So if you're contemplating anything right now, it's best to hold off, because I feel like things are moving in a new direction for you, and it's happening quickly, but it's also something that might not go as you planned. So if you have plans, hang on a second. You know what I mean? Like, don't be too impulsive with plans at this time, because I feel like you're actually entering a new space completely right now, Aquarius. This is very interesting. Okay, let's jump into the tarot cards. And as I cut the deck, we see the Death card and the Knight of Wands. So yeah, you're in the midst of some kind of transformation here, and it's going to serve your highest good, but you just have to you need to be grounded for this. And I feel like it's interesting that I was fiddling with the red crystals, and we see a lot of messages of you needing to be grounded in the present moment. Don't go too far ahead, and don't hang out in the past. Stay here and focus on the day to day, one step at a time. Sometimes when this energy comes up for me personally, I like to take things, sometimes depending on how much of it is overwhelming me, moment by moment, down to the hour. Like, okay, for the next hour, I'm going to do readings, and I'm going to focus on these readings, and I don't have to think past that until I'm done the readings, and I'm not gonna think past it until I'm done. Same for you. Whatever tasks you do in your day, take it one little bit at a time, and don't think about the next chunk until you're finished the chunk you're working on, if that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's get started with the tarot cards. Very interesting oracle messages for you this week, Aquarius. Okay, Six of Wands. So you will be successful. Three of Cups. There's something that shifted here in a relationship that makes you feel like, yeah, it's interesting. Bottom of the deck is the Judgment card in reverse here. It's very interesting, Aquarius. I almost feel like something could have shifted in a relationship that you didn't see coming. It didn't feel fair. But it now I feel like you're going, after you sort of get regrounded, you're going to be victorious here. You won't, if you feel down right now, you won't be down for long. This is actually moving you towards something that's going to bring in a lot of victory. But yeah, you got to be careful not to be too ambitious here, because I almost feel like you could get yourself into some situations where you blast in before everything settles. and then you could feel like you've missed an opportunity. So yes, see, even the tarot cards are supporting this idea of really needing to be grounded in the present moment, because otherwise you could miss a sign, which is what we're seeing here. So if you go in guns blazing, or if you sort of feel like you're going to jump ahead impulsively towards something, you could actually miss a sign that leads you into this new direction. And then you've missed an opportunity if that happens. So you're really being guided here to take things one step at a time, to take things one step at a time, though, like not to completely stop, because that's not going to help ground you either. You sort of need to be invested in your day here without getting too impulsive or too hot-headed about something. Like, I almost feel like whatever shifted, because it didn't feel fair, there's almost a part of you that could be angry or so frustrated with what shifted outside of your control that there's no compassion, and that you have explosive emotions, and that you're not being patient, and you might be feeling like you have to run on that hamster wheel right now. But actually, you just have to take things one step at a time, stay in the present, and feel grounded again. That's really going to help you to see the signs and synchronicities trying to direct you, is to really stay grounded in that present moment. It's so interesting. You've got this Tower card on the bottom of the deck. So you're going to have some realizations. There's going to be some truth. There's a lot of change in the structure around you right now, Aquarius. And everything is being revealed to you. Things are being revealed to you, but if you're not grounded in the present, you could miss what's being revealed. So it's important to stay grounded. What a very interesting reading. Let's clarify some of these cards for you. So you're moving towards victory, and there's the Empress. So you're moving towards victory, and you will achieve this grounded feeling. And I feel like you're going to be creative, and you're going to be accessing all of that sort of fertility within, to create and to be connected to this abundance and empathy. It makes me feel like you're ready to give birth to something, but that something had to shift for this to happen. You know, something really had to shift. And there's that Knight of Swords bringing in a lot of change. So there you go. Something had to shift, and it feels like it shifted outside of your control, and that it wasn't part of your plan. And, you know, whatever is awaiting you, I feel is going to be in harmony with you. Maybe your plan wasn't the ultimate highest good. Do you know what I mean? And so I can sense your frustration, and I can sense that you want to sort of impulsively run towards whatever you had planned. But it's almost like you're better served by staying in the present moment and really feeling grounded. Another message of that grounded energy, Knight of Pentacles, following that Knight of Swords. So really being focused on the tasks of the now. That's where you have to stay, Aquarius. And it's important for you to get distance from any sort of impulsive thinking or self-criticism or limited ways of thinking and feeling. You've got the Devil on the bottom of the deck now. So I feel like whatever is taking your power, you sort of have to take your power back from that. And it almost feels like there's this part of you that might be feeling that devil energy in trying to move past something in a way, but without really acknowledging it. You know what I mean? And without acknowledging it fully, it's almost like you sort of, need to break free from it. It's like you're on the cusp of a breakthrough when I see this Devil card in reverse. Oh wow, and look what's right behind it is the Lovers in reverse, which is this, if you look at the cards, they're the same imagery, except in one vision we have the Devil, and in one we have God. And so it's like, where are you deriving your strength and power from right now? And are you right now not wanting to sort of realize something, or are you realizing that you're giving your power away by feeling helpless and feeling like whatever happened here, maybe, you're not seeing it as a release, you're seeing it as something that was sort of making you helpless. And so it's interesting, kind of makes me feel like you're getting thrown into some shadow work here because of this breakthrough that's on its way with this Tower energy. And look, there's the Nine of Cups. Honestly, this really feels to me like you've got to stay in the present moment. Yeah. Try to stay in the present moment. Don't miss any signs. Another indication that by not being grounded in the present, you could miss some signs that are really important to direct you. Page of Cups in reverse. So very interesting. Queen of Cups on the bottom of the deck now in reverse, which tells me that, whatever shifted is causing you to feel emotionally triggered. This thing that changed in your life, this circumstance, or this moment that changed your plans, it feels like you're just not feeling grounded. You're not feeling secure. You're having this moment where you must find that security within again. And there may be some feelings coming to the surface that are leading you to some conclusions that are not actually helping you to express your emotions, but they're actually causing you to suppress your emotions. So really feeling like you can bring those emotions out into the present so that you can let them go, right? Like when stuff happens that we don't expect, it's almost like in our best interest to allow those feelings to come up so that you can identify that feeling and you can have a look at it, and then you can let it go. And you don't have to hold on to it anymore and feel victimized by it anymore, or feel like you're giving all your power to that one experience and then everything in the present just falls away. You're really being guided to stay in the present moment here and process things by being grounded in that present moment. Let's see here for Aquarius. What is the highest guidance here for Aquarius? Yeah, isn't that interesting? Oh, I love that. Okay, so we see here this message of adversity. So something challenged you. Something has happened that was very challenging. And the message of this card is interesting. It's a lotus flower blooming. And as you may or may not know, a lotus flower grows beneath the surface of the water in a lot of mud and muck. And there's that idea that no mud, no lotus. And for the lotus to sort of break through the surface and bloom, it has a challenge to do that. It's very like the path of the lotus is full of adversity. And so you've had some adversity here. And that adversity is actually bringing in your confidence in yourself, just like it does that when the butterfly is in the cocoon and it's ready to come out, it has to fight its way out. And you might, if you ever have the opportunity to witness that in nature, your compassionate side might have this temptation to help it out a bit and peel back some of the cocoon so that the butterfly can get out easier. But it needs to struggle in there so that it can develop the muscle strength it needs to fly. And so there's a purpose behind adversity. There's a purpose. There always is, even if it's buried in your subconscious, like we see in that deep knowing card. The adversity that you're going through right now is leading you to strength and confidence. See, we have the solar plex chakra shining here and the fire card. So the fire card carries a very interesting message as well, in that fire has a way of destroying things, but it also has a way of healing things. And so sometimes when we set fire to stuff that needs to go back to ashes, it can fertilize the soil for something to grow. And so that's what I feel like you're going through right now, Aquarius. It's interesting. It's like something had to go to create a path for something new. And that may sound, depending on what you've gone through, you might be listening to this and being like, that's so insensitive of her to say. This was really difficult. And I feel that adversity. I feel like what you've gone through was very difficult and challenged you immensely. But the empowering message in your reading is that that challenge, that adversity, is actually showing you how strong you are towards this new direction that you're headed in. And I feel like this challenging moment is going to create a lot of confidence for you in that power center, that solar plex chakra, the I can statement, and seeing this fire. It's like your fire within has been lit. The fire within has been lit. And, you know, it's very interesting. Bottom of the deck, we're seeing that present moment card. You're really being guided to stay in that present moment and to work through this challenging adversity, because it's giving you strength, and metaphorically, it's creating muscles that you didn't have, that you need moving forward into this new journey that you're on. Aquarius, what a fascinating reading. I'm going to leave it at that for you. I hope this reading has been helpful and has resonated for you. If it has, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. If you would like a personal reading, you can find that information in the description below. And as always, I'm sending you so much love and light, my friends, and I look forward to reading for you again soon. Take care.